Let's Talk Stroke. I am your host and stroke survivor, Jerry Wall. And for those of you that are new here, I started doing this show to bring awareness to stroke, TBI, aphasia, mental health, brain injury, and also to provide a platform for all survivors to share their journeys from literally all across the world, and also bringing on experts in brain health so they can share their knowledge. Um, so anyway, this morning my guest is Rick Cleveland, and he's got quite the story, and he's really a big YouTube guy, and also he got shot in the head, basically in a hate crime. I'm not going to try to explain it, but Rick will explain that, and so stick around, ask questions, make comments, and please, if you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Let's Talk Stroke. So let's go ahead and get started. So here we go.
Telling me to dance, taking a chance. Telling me to dance.
All righty. Good morning, everybody, and hopefully you're all having a good morning. And anyway, good morning. And Mike Peters from South Wales, United Kingdom. Nice to see you here. And thanks for saying hi to Rick and me. And Bald Jerry, you said. Oh my goodness. All right. Anyway, let's bring on Rick. Hang on. Rick,
Hey,
how's it going, man?
it's going, it's going. I'm alive, I'm living, I'm positive,
I know that's what I love about you, man. So positive, and all the things we go through in our journeys. It's easy to get down, but look at you.
Yeah. I'm a firm believer in positivity.
Yeah,
Um, it's just it kind of got ingrained from when I was a kid. My dad was always just so positive, and
right,
nobody in my family, even if they weren't super positive, nobody was ever negative. Almost
right.
everybody's positive, and I have a lot of, positive people around me, and I try to stay around positive people. I don't like negativity.
Yeah,
I feel like positivity is what helped me get through getting shot.
right, right. Now, if we go back, like rewind the clock. Who was Rick?
Say that again. I didn't quite hear you.
Oh, if we rewind the clock, who was Rick before your injury?
You're saying who am I?
Yeah, before, yeah, even
Yeah,
starting.
okay. All right. Yeah. Well, basically, that kind of goes back to the positivity thing
Right,
because I was actually a salesman. I was a door-to-door salesman,
good.
and I sold gourmet food door to door.
Wow.
So kind of like the Swans trucks. You ever see Swans, stuff
Yeah,
like that? It's similar. We have prepackaged gourmet food, and everybody's positive. It's a positive environment. So that's another place, that kind of spread the positivity to me. And it's the same line of work that my dad was in. He was,
oh,
doing the same thing for years before me. So I just kind of, I love the whole aspect of it. The positivity. I like talking to people, um, and it's something where you're talking to people every single day.
right,
I'm a very social person. I like talking to people. That's why I
right.
tell people all the time. If I see a little negative message or something on somebody else's stuff, I'll message them and, tell them to stay positive,
Yeah,
regardless of if I know them or not.
right.
I just, I want, I want there to be positivity everywhere. And if I
Excellent.
can help or inspire somebody, I try to.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm glad you're here to inspire and
Thank
to
you.
share your story. I'm really happy for you. And I've been watching your YouTube videos, and man, I mean, I don't see any negativity. You are just so positive. But then what led up to your injury? What led up to that?
Well, basically, it's kind of a crazy story. I went on a trip to go from South Carolina. I was in Columbia, South Carolina at the time.
Right?
And I went up north to Norfolk, Virginia. And I went there because I had an invite to go work doing the same line of work, but up there. Um, and I wanted to visit some friends.
Right?
So I had multiple friends up there. So I figured it was kind of like a good opportunity to kind of do multiple things at the same time, go to a new shop and work, get a change of environment, and visit, friends at the same time.
Right.
So that's why I went up there. I just had no idea that, what happened would happen, of course,
Right. Right. Yeah.
but
Wow.
that's why I went up there.
Yeah. So what happened? You went up to visit.
Basically, long story short, I was on my friend's doorstep and somebody came up and asked me for a cigarette. And, I had no idea who this person was. I had no idea that they had any type of ill will or anything.
Right.
And I guess when I wasn't looking, like right after that, I guess he somehow pulled out a gun without me seeing, because if I would have noticed, I would have probably, tried to, I don't know what I would have done honestly, but I would have probably tried to, you know, grab it or run away. I don't really know what I would have done,
Right.
but um, there was no like time to see it. I just woke up in a hospital and was like, whoa, what, I didn't know what happened, and they had to kind of explain to me. And some things are bits and pieces, and I'm still regaining certain little bits and pieces. Even now, it's been years later. It's been about 10 years now.
Wow. Okay.
I believe it was like right after I turned 23, I believe. So it's been about 10 years now. It was like a day after my birthday, actually. It was like a day or two. It might have been like the same day or the day after my birthday. I remember that.
Wow.
But I still get little pieces that come back. Like I remember the paramedics smacking me on the face saying, "Stay conscious, stay awake, don't fall asleep, don't let yourself fall asleep, stay awake." And I just remember kind of, battling to remember and to see, you know.
Right. But you were conscious. I mean, during all
I
that.
I was no, I kind of remembered that later on, but as soon as I got shot, I must have, slumped right there in the spot in front of the door, which, I blocked the door, so luckily that person couldn't get in there and harm the other people that were at the house. My friend's wife was there and her child um, was there, so that's scary. But it was just so unexpected. I never had any idea that someone was just going to come up to me and do that.
Wow. And is there a reason why? I mean, was he
It was
looking?
a mistaken identity. I guess they went there to kill my friend over an issue that happened previous. He told me that somebody broke into his house and took his stuff. I guess they went into his house and took literally everything when he moved there. And
Wow.
I guess he found out who did it. So I guess the person wanted to silence them or something. I'm not really exactly sure of all the exact details. I just know what I've been told pretty much.
Right. Wow. Wow.
And but yeah, it's crazy because my whole life this one person who I was mistaken for, we've been mistaken for each other before because of our build. We're about the same size, we're about the same white, not white, weight, excuse me. And but we are both white. But yeah, um yeah, we both look pretty much the exact same facial hair. Everything is pretty much the same besides for I'm a little younger.
Right.
So I guess it was just, unlucky that I look like him and I was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
Right. Just crazy.
Yeah, it's really crazy. I thought I was gonna leave from there soon after that. I was there for a little while and then I was probably gonna go back down to South Carolina where my family was.
Right.
So I had no idea that was gonna happen. And then I spent, such a long time up there in Norfolk, Virginia. Um, I was in the hospital for a little while, and I was in a coma. They acted like I wasn't going to come out of the coma. One day, my dad, and this is what he said. He told me that he saw me moving, and that he told the nurse, I was coming to, and they said, "No, you're probably just wanting to see that." You know, they didn't act like I would come out of a coma, and if I did, it wouldn't be so soon.
Right.
But luckily, I came out of the coma. I don't really remember, a lot. I know I tell these stories all the time and stuff, but there's so much that I don't know. You know, there's so much that has been told to me. Sorry about that, but
No,
yeah, a lot has been told to me. The stuff that I can't remember, um, but it's just insanity that could happen, and someone could even live through it. I didn't think no one would survive, or be able to talk and be, I lucked out pretty well. I am in a wheelchair now. I am disabled, and it damaged the left side of my body, which is my dominant side. I'm left-handed, so it's been a real big hurdle
yeah,
to get over. But I don't dwell on stuff like that. I just think of the good stuff.
right,
You
right.
know, I survived.
Absolutely. I just want to show a picture that you sent me here. Um, this one, it's actually that's one of them, and you
Yep.
see that one. So it went in and out.
Yeah, it went in one side and out the other, and that's part of what you're seeing is from the surgeries as well,
Right.
where they actually they cut my head all the way open. Basically, they said my head was like a watermelon, and they were worried it was going to explode because it was so swollen. They said, and I'm glad I didn't see it, because I wouldn't want to see the picture of, because I didn't know a head could do that. But they sawed my head open. Um, they removed the bones and they actually put it in a cryogenic freeze to save them, the salvageable parts.
Right, right. For a while, right?
Yeah, yeah. Almost 2 years. It was over a year, almost 2 years, and it was it was pretty crazy. At first, I had a lot of hallucinations and stuff like that when my brain was really swollen. It
Right.
really messed with me a lot, but luckily I got better and better as time went by.
How long were you in the hospital?
I couldn't tell you the exact amount of time. My father could tell you, but he's not here right now.
Right.
Um, but it was a few months. It was a few months, I assume, from what I've known. A lot of that is just like a blur to me.
Yeah.
But the weird part is, they wanted to get me out of the hospital, and I was so bad off then. I couldn't. So, my father actually immediately started fighting to get what's it called? Not social, like a social security, SSI.
Yeah.
That way I
Disability.
could go to a rehab facility. So there was like a battle for that, and luckily, my dad helped, and he fought and fought and fought, and he got me approved for that. That way I got the SSI, and I was allowed to go to a skilled rehab facility,
Right. Good
which
for
I went
you.
to that skilled rehab facility for over a year, and then they tried to put me in the long term section. And as soon as they started putting me in the long term section, I was like, no, no, no. I said, I'm not going to stay in here. So I immediately start fighting to get out. Um, that place was not, it's not, those places aren't good. They treated me badly. I was actually attacked there by the staff. There's one lady thought I was paralyzed. My legs are messed up, but I'm not paralyzed. I feel every bit of pain.
Right.
And I had a lady, she thought it was funny going there, and she tried to, punch me in the legs, and she thought it was funny. It was real bad,
Yeah.
and that's just one case. There was just so much going on there. So I fought to get out of there. And they tried to actually keep me in there. They were like, you got to prove that you have somewhere to go and all this stuff. Of course, I couldn't walk, or I would have just walked out of there.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
yeah, I fought to get out of there, and I did. And I went back down to South Carolina with my family, my brother, and my father. And that's where I stayed for a while. And I actually met my wife shortly after that through such odd circumstances.
Yeah. Oh, your wife?
Yeah, I met my wife through very odd circumstances because my brother met her sister
Wow.
by a very strange turn of events, and everybody kind of met up at times where they weren't supposed to. Like my brother wasn't supposed to go over there that day. My wife wasn't supposed to be there,
Right.
and it was just it's kind of like it was meant to be. I mean, honestly, it was like fate to me. It's
Yeah.
very crazy the way we met, but I met my wife, and you know,
That's
I
beautiful.
kept progressing in life, and you know,
Absolutely. Um, let's see. There was a comment back then. How was your mental health? I just thinking about me and everybody else that goes through a brain injury in the beginning.
yeah. My mental health at the beginning was kind of. I mean, it was I was positive, but with the brain damage and the swelling and the hallucinations, I don't know if it was the best health, of course, but I stayed positive through the whole thing. Um,
Good for
and
you.
it just took time. It took time, and I got better.
Yeah, absolutely. Because you are, and we've talked for quite some time over the many days here, and I mean, you really boost me up. I mean, you're really positive, and I do have to. Let's see. I know I have to bring a. I'll bring up your YouTube channel because it's really impressive what you're going through every single day, and you don't hide it. You tell your story, and um,
Yep.
you're doing a great job with them. And I appreciate that. I know there's so
Thank
many
you.
comments here. No problem, Marina. There's I don't know if you've seen the comments. It's
Yeah, I
easy.
see them. I see them.
Yeah, you got a lot of fans out here. So
Well, thank you. I appreciate everybody that wants to even listen to my story, and you know, sometimes I try to inspire people, even if they're you know aggravated or something. If they
yeah,
post something, sometimes we all get angry and stuff like that. Especially with my brain injury, it's known to make people angry, so I
right.
do get angry a lot. But I'm trying to learn how to just be absolutely nice all the time, even when people don't deserve it. Honestly, I try to spread positivity no matter what. Just like this person said, it is positive energy is contagious. I
Absolutely.
100% agree.
Yeah.
Um, and that's what I try to do. I want to motivate other people, especially if they're going through a tough situation. But even if it's just a normal person on a normal day, if I can inspire them or make them have a good day or something, or if I can inspire a good deed, I will. I try to.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, I appreciate you guys being here making comments. I know that you see the comments here, which are great to see. But I usually love to ask is usually ending I do, and I won't do it now. But what would you say? I mean, you've covered some of it. What would you say to somebody that's going through as we talked about a difficult time? It could be 20 years out, it could be a month out. How that goes.
Right.
So
Yeah, every day seems to be like, a different thing. Back then it was one thing, and now today it's a different thing, but we just kind of have to, adapt to our situations and overcome it. Um, which was another weird thing. When I found that charity that I told you about, the Warfighter Engaged,
yes,
their motto is adapt and overcome, which was very odd to me because I've been saying that my whole life.
right.
Yeah, there you go. Yep, that's Warfighter Engaged right there.
Yep.
And
And what
that's
is it?
actually one of many pictures they have, but that's my favorite. So that's why I share that one a lot because it has the flag in there.
Absolutely. What's it about? I mean, just
The
people.
charity is an organization that pretty much just wants to help everybody. They started out as, veterans. They want to help veterans. Say a veteran goes over there and they fight for our country and they get disabled, and lose a limb or something. The founder of the organization is an engineer, and he'll develop whatever needs to be made for the person at the time, specifically catered to their disability. So say someone loses a certain finger or something, or say they lose like a specific limb,
Sure.
and they need something to to help them, with recreation, whether it's a sport or it's a hobby. Like my favorite hobby, of course, is the video games, which they
Sure.
do make controllers for lots of people. That way they can get back into gaming because gaming is very good therapy, not only mentally but physically. And it helped my coordination get back to the way it is. It's been a long battle. My coordination was pretty bad at the beginning.
Yeah, yeah, but look how, I mean, you've adapted to the gaming
Yep.
part, you know. Um,
Yeah, I actually had that idea of the controller that I showed you and that are in some of my other videos. That idea was in my brain for years. I held a controller and I was like, man, I could actually play if I had a controller that had buttons right here and a joystick on the back. So basically, I told the founder of the charity, and his name is Ken Jones.
right.
Hopefully he's watching. Shout out to Ken Jones if you're watching. He's a great guy. He's one of the best people I've ever met in my life, honestly.
Wow.
He's always helping people. He's always doing not only charity work for Warfighter Engaged, but he also goes to animal shelters and does stuff like that on a daily basis. I mean, the guy is absolutely amazing. He's really been someone to look up to. Every time if I need to talk to him or something, he always talks to me. I've always wanted to give back. That's why I became a volunteer for the charity, and I tried to do all I can for them because I'm
Absolutely.
so grateful for them. Because it all started out as he was a stranger, and I
Yeah,
just messaged him on Facebook one day, the charity organization, and I told him my story.
he responded.
Yep, he responded, and he sent a complete stranger a custom-made joystick controller that took hours upon hours for him to make. Um, and I was kind of baffled. I was mind blown that a complete stranger would do something so nice for another complete stranger.
Right, right.
And it really inspired me to do even more than I already try to do. He really kind of turned that light on and made me want to help people more often, if I could. So that's why I tried. I joined up, and anybody I can help on there, if someone needs help or something, I'm like, send them my way. I was like,
Yeah,
if there's
absolutely.
anything I can do, send them my way.
So
If I
remember
can
that.
help anybody.
Yeah, everybody, you should. Um, I just want to bring this up here. This is your YouTube channel.
Yep, that's my YouTube.
Ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Yeah,
Yep, and
ridiculous.
if you see that blue controller there, that's actually one of I believe that was the first or the second controller he made for me, but it's basically the same design every time, and it's my design I came up with because I knew it would work for me. And I messaged him, and I told him when he made the first thing for me, it was a big joystick, and it
Right?
just didn't work out very well for me because it was very stiff and it was just hard to move and stuff like that. And I didn't even want to tell him at first because I felt bad about it, but I eventually told him, and he's like, "Okay, well, we'll try something else." And I was like immediately like, "What? Really? Oh,
Wow.
okay." You
Yeah.
know, he didn't care that, um that it was more time consuming and had to do something else. He did not mind, he did not care. He immediately just wanted to help me, and he wanted to do whatever it took. And so I told him my idea, and he goes, "Wow, that's a crazy idea, and I don't know if I could do that because of the amount of space in the controller. It seems pretty crazy. It's probably not going to happen, but you know what? I'm going to try."
Was that the white controller?
No, that's the PS5 one. That's actually my newest one.
Okay, okay.
The first one I had was black,
Okay.
and then the
Yeah.
second one I had was the blue one that you just showed in the picture there.
Yes.
And I called that one the Blue Bomber. That's just what my nickname for it was.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, I used them so much that eventually they wear out. So that's why I have a new one. And when it went out, I told him, and he's like, "Okay, send it back. I'm gonna fix it and send it right back to you."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Thank you so much." It's just amazing how great the guy is.
Absolutely. And this right here,
And I
friends,
hope he hears this. I honestly
me
hope he
too.
hears all these words because I tell
Yeah.
him all the time. See, I'm such a grateful person, and I tell him all the time, I'm like, "Man, I'm gonna annoy you by how grateful I am." I said, I'm
Yeah,
gonna tell you every time I see you that I'm grateful. Thank you, man.
yeah, that's awesome though. So if I just go back, I hate to because this is pretty amazing. Um, Simply Obs, yeah. Thanks for sharing your YouTube channel there. Mike shared it to you. You probably saw that. He shared your YouTube channel right
Thank you.
there. So, what did your family think when they heard that Rick is in the hospital because you won't believe what happened?
Yeah.
That must have been crazy.
My family is my family's supportive.
Yeah,
My inner circle is pretty much my brother and my dad.
right.
They're the two people I'm closest with. I actually have a twin brother
Do you?
named Matthew. Yeah, Matthew Cleveland. Unfortunately, he is gone now. Um, but I love him. I think about him every day, and
Good.
he was a big part of how I got through it, and he was there for me all the time. And when I needed help, like when I first got home, getting Hoyer lifted in and
Yeah,
out of bed, every time I had to get in my wheelchair, anytime I had to go to a doctor appointment or therapy, boom, he was right there with me, and he helped me every step along the way. My brother would even actually do more therapy at some of the places than the therapist.
wow.
One therapist was like, "Man, you're pretty bad off. I don't know if I can help you." And I'm like, "Well, I'm here now. I'm your client now. So let's exercise. Let's do something."
Yeah,
Um, and the guy was kind of lackadaisical and didn't want to do anything. So my brother would go get the exercise bands that were attached to the wall behind me and hand them to me, and I would sit there and exercise and work out.
wow, wow. Good for him to do that. Well, he
Yeah.
probably he would be doing that anyway. But that because that's a lot of work as a caregiver. But your wife, I've seen the
Yeah,
picture.
my wife is a daily. My wife helps more than anything. I love
Yeah,
my wife dearly. She helps me every single day. And she's been a good support system too.
yeah,
She needs motivating at times, so I motivate her. And she naturally motivates me.
yeah,
All the time, even though I'm the more inspirational one, but we kind of work together to inspire each other.
yeah. I don't know her, but I've seen her. I mean, I've
Yeah, you
seen.
can see her in pretty much all my videos, or
Yeah,
at least a majority of them. And sometimes even if you don't see her on camera, you might hear her in the microphone because she might be recording.
yeah. And I heard it when you and I had talked. And she's holding the camera.
Yeah, yesterday
Yeah,
I had her hold the camera.
awesome.
Yeah, she's an amazing person.
She's a trooper.
She's one of the greatest people I ever met in my life. She's such a sweetheart.
Yeah,
It's hard to find those good, pure-hearted people these days that are truly loyal. But I know my wife is truly loyal, and
yeah.
that's one of the reasons why I fell in love with her and married her.
So awesome. And now you have kids.
Yes, yes, and I was kind of very anti-marriage when I was younger because the world's crazy, and it's hard to find people you actually trust or that you truly feel you trust. And she proved herself so quickly that she was just such an amazing person. And we've been growing for years now. We've been together for 10 years, and yeah, we have two wonderful kids, actually twins, just like me and my brother. We were twins. I
Yeah.
had no idea. I don't know if that has a factor into
Oh
to
yeah.
it, but now we have twins, and I have two kids, one boy, one girl, Kai and Sora,
Nice. Beautiful.
which we tried to come up with some unique names, and they are gaming related names also.
Is that right?
Yes, Sora came from a video game called Kingdom Hearts,
Or
and I started playing that when I was younger. It was actually a game my father got for me on my birthday, maybe teenage years. And I always said the character, I was like, why is the boy character named Sora? I said, that's a good girl's name.
oh
It's like a pretty girl's name.
yeah, yeah. That's what you
So
meant.
yeah. So I named, my daughter Sora, and I named my son Kai, Kai Enix Cleveland. That's his full name, and that
Right.
was also taken from video game related things.
That's awesome.
We're trying to get something. We had to kind of meet in the middle.
Yeah.
My wife wanted specific names. I wanted specific names that she didn't necessarily agree with. So we kind of found those, and we all liked them.
Good, good. It all worked out.
Yeah, and my daughter's middle name is, of course, named after a video game console, Genesis, the
Yeah.
Sega Genesis. That's where I got that from.
Wow.
So
Wow.
that's kind of a funny little Easter egg story right there.
Yeah, this gaming is really true to your heart.
Yeah, I've been a gamer my entire life, and I've worked a lot. But in between working or when I got home every day, I would, fire up the PlayStation or the Xbox or the Nintendo, whichever I was playing at the time.
Right.
And nowadays it's such good therapy. It really helped me get my hand working again. It got my coordination going. It really makes me use my brain, and I find myself all the time when I'm playing games, I using my brain more. It's
Yeah.
kind of forcing me to do more, which is great.
Yeah. So you're using your affected dominant side to use for the controller?
Well, I use my non-dominant side now.
Yeah, that okay, yeah, that's
Yeah, I can't use my left side very well because of
the
the
injury.
damage and everything. And like we were talking about the other day, it's very similar to a stroke victim.
Yes.
So I lost the ability to use my hand properly. So I can't do fine motor coordinated skills. Like I couldn't pick up something off a desk or something. There would be no way I could pick up like some change or something.
Right.
Nothing like that. I might be able to slide something big off, by just
Right.
sliding it using momentum, but I'm pretty limited in the mobility. But I'm trying, and some things get better, some things get worse, but either way, you stay positive and you keep moving forward.
Absolutely.
Where
Yeah.
there's a will, there's a way.
Right, right. You're not letting it get to you. All what's going on.
Yeah, you can't really let stuff get to you because there's nothing good in negativity.
Right.
Everybody on here right now, you can think for hours and hours and hours. You'll never come up with one good thing about negativity, but you can instantly think of tons of good stuff that comes from positivity. You can literally change your life. You can literally save your own life by positive thinking. The power of your brain is just so remarkable.
Yeah. Rewiring itself but you like well, do you ever get in those places because you were so positive I can't even bring it up. But do you ever go get those um in those places that are dark, just you got to snap out like, "Nah, this is not this is not who I am."
Yeah, everybody has those little times where they, you know, fight their battles,
Yeah,
But that's how I kind of explain it. If something negative pops up,
right,
fight that battle, Just fight the battle, win, overcome, and get back into it,
right.
We all get negative thoughts every now and then, but you just can't let them win. You have to move beyond them. You can't dwell on them. My whole life I've had a dwelling problem. I dwell on a lot of stuff. Oddly
Yeah,
enough, I don't really dwell on getting shot because it's not going to accomplish anything. So
right,
I stay positive.
right. Absolutely. So you're working on really just the gaming really does. It's a great brain game. Um, Good with your occupational therapy or so.
Yeah, it's a great form of occupational therapy. Actually, gaming is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So when you came out, I'm sure you couldn't talk, right? Couldn't walk, couldn't. I mean,
I believe I could talk the whole time.
okay,
I
good,
don't think I had an issue where I couldn't talk.
right?
But I do get tongue tied, and I get forgetful every now and then. But honestly, all things considering, my brain, you know, is working pretty well. I find myself with some issues, but it's to be expected.
Yeah, yeah,
Overall, I'm blessed and I'm thankful. And you got to take the good with the bad. That's one thing my father always said. You know, life is life. You got to take the good with the bad. There's always going to be good. There's always going to be bad. That's why you got to kind of prepare yourself and be aware. You
Right.
know.
So you,
I learned from a very smart, positive man. You know,
yeah,
my dad is a great influence on my life. You know, thank God he's still around, and I get to enjoy his company. You know, he really helped me get through it. You know.
absolutely. I mean, the last, I don't want to say last one, but maybe this one. Yesterday, wasn't it yesterday that you did the video with your dad? Because he,
Yeah, I did it the day before that.
was it
I
okay?
uploaded it the day before that,
Okay,
but
okay.
sometimes it takes a while to upload, especially if it's an 8K video.
Yeah,
But yeah, I upload it and then I usually reshare it on Facebook the next day once it's fully uploaded. And that was the second video where I really ever showed my head, because I've talked about it and talked about it, but I never really showed my head and the
yeah, you
scars and
said that.
stuff like that.
Yeah,
That's why I actually shaved my head the other day, and
right.
yeah, and I shaved my hair that way, you know, y'all could see it better.
Yeah,
Yeah, that one right there is really that one really shows where they had to cut me open.
yeah. And you said they kept the your brain in a cryogenic stage, right? I mean,
Yeah, yeah, not my brain, but my
I
skull.
mean,
Yeah,
okay, yeah,
yeah, that would be one crazy brain freeze right there.
yeah. It is kind of crazy. I had an uncle did that.
Yeah, they removed a large section of it, um, where it was gonna, as you see, where I assume where you see it's cut right down the middle like
Right,
that. I assume that's where they cut me open, and I guess it was to make sure it didn't explode because it was so swollen.
right.
They were afraid my head was literally going to explode. They said it was big like a watermelon, which is scary to even think about.
Yeah. How long did you have the your skull off? Is probably you probably they must have put a plate on there.
Yeah,
No?
well, no, I don't have a plate, but I did wear a helmet for
Yeah,
that. Yeah,
for a while.
if I was out of bed at all or anything, I had to wear a helmet. It was like a, a foam helmet,
Yeah.
and I had to wear that,
Right, right.
and that was to protect my head in case I fell, which I did a few times. I fell out of, and when I first got shot, I actually tried to walk. I tried to get up and walk, and then I collapsed, and my legs got um, wrapped up underneath me. It was one of the worst pains I've ever been through because I had no idea. They told me, you can't get out of bed, you can't walk. And all those nurses were so rude and stuff to me. I just thought they were, full of crap because I was used to, poor treatment, the way they used to treat me in that nursing facility.
Right.
So I was like, oh, yeah, I'll show you. I was like,
Yeah.
because I was ready to get up and walk out of there. I was tired of being, abused and everything and talked down to. So yeah, I was like, I'll get up, I'll walk out of here. And soon I got up, I tried, I tried,
Yeah.
I fell, I collapsed right in the floor. My legs got wrapped up underneath me, and oh man, it was bad pain. I had to wait till a therapist walked by. That I screamed for her to pull my legs out from my. I was like, just pull my legs out straight, just pull them out straight.
Yeah. Exactly.
So I
So
had to get them pulled out straight, and then after that, I kind of learned my lesson. I tried not to, you know to do stupid stuff. But I did therapy for years, and I continued to try to walk. And I feel like I possibly could have walked if they would have kept giving me therapy, because I got to the point where I could stand up, um, partially.
sure.
And we were supposed to keep getting therapy, but of course I didn't have the money.
Right.
They don't want to give you skilled rehab, I guess, if they feel like you're not going to get better. Even though I made good gains those whole 2 years.
Right.
Um, it's all basically a money issue, honestly. And
I know.
I feel like if I could have got that water therapy or some of the other therapies that I see people getting these days, maybe I would be walking right now.
Yeah.
But I tried every bit of therapy, and now I qualify for like my insurance would like give me a few therapy days where they will come out and help give me therapy, but it's only a few times a year.
Right. Right.
But even then, I every little chance I can get, I do it. And
Well,
nowadays, I actually have exercise equipment.
good.
I have a little like exercise bands actually strapped to my bed
Oh, good.
with handles, so I can actually exercise. And I kind of flail around. I tell my wife all the time. I was like, you know, watch me flail around like an idiot. So I kind of flail around. You know, I move what I can. You know, the doctor told me move it or lose it, move it or
Yeah,
lose it. I
it,
said I'm gonna move it. I'm not gonna lose it. I'm gonna move it.
it's so fun, not funny, but my wife, the other few days, she had some cancer removed, and she has these
Wow.
band-aids on, all, I mean, here, all over. And she goes, please, because she knows how I fly around my, because you're like your one hand, I'm sure, gets flying around. You can't feel if you're gonna hit something or what. And that's she was so nervous. She slept in the other room because she knows I toss and turn. But
Yeah.
oh my god, it's fun. It's funny to
I
me.
I have a good sense of humor. I also have a sick sense of humor, and I'll admit that. You know, I make jokes about my disability and stuff like that
Yeah,
because what are you gonna do? You
right.
gonna cry about it? You gonna be sad about it? No, we're gonna joke about it. You
Yeah,
know,
that's
my
right.
wife, you know, might not like my humor at all the times because she don't like when I make fun of my me getting shot and stuff. But you know, she will laugh. Like I'll catch her laughing. You know, I'll be like, oh, I thought it wasn't funny.
Yeah,
Thought it wasn't funny.
yeah,
But of course,
exactly.
you know, she loves me so much that you know she don't like when I joke around about certain things. But I'm gonna do it anyway because
That's you.
I'm in high spirits. You know,
That's right.
I'm positive and I'm you know I'm a jokester. You know.
So now the the I don't want to say man. I don't know how to say it. The person that shot you, they he actually he was caught, but
Yep.
he wrote a book about it.
Yeah. Well, see, here's the thing. And in my video, I wanted to say this. In my
Yeah,
video, I actually said he got. I think I said like 17 years. I don't know why I said that. He actually got 36 years.
we did.
He
Okay.
got 36 years in prison for malicious wounding. And, you know, I don't want to mention his name or anything because I don't want to give him the satisfaction or
No.
anything. But yeah, the judge wasn't buying it. I even read a newspaper article about me getting shot yesterday that my wife found. And it was the way they worded some of the stuff was a little different than the other news articles that they had.
Right.
But I was like, yeah, I was like, why did I say that the other day? Because it was more time, and I'm glad he got more time. You know, he deserves it. You know,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Absolutely.
I didn't know the guy at all. You know, he didn't know me. He just, you know, did
Just
it because he thought I was somebody else or whatever his reasons was, and he wrote a book about it. You know, that was used as evidence. It was used as evidence to convict him. Then he had the audacity to say to the judge, he was begging for lenience, um, and he said that he was going to turn his life around as soon as he sold the rights to the book and the movie. That's
unbelievable.
what he and showed no remorse. And the judge even said he showed no remorse. And yeah, he's going to turn his life around after he sells movie rights to shooting me and committing a bunch of other crimes because he wrote down a bunch of stuff of other crimes as well.
Oh, really?
So not only like random, you know, attacks on people and robberies. Like I guess he was just keeping track of it all. I guess he
Yeah.
wanted to do a book or a movie about him being a criminal.
Yeah. You're
It
not the
seems
only one.
very, you know, idiotic to me to write down evidence and
Well, it shows
I mean
what
you
kind of
can't
person he was.
yeah, you can't really have logic when you're a
Right.
criminal, you know. I guess, you know, you don't really care. He had no remorse, you know. You know,
Unbelievable.
he didn't even care or anything that I probably survived.
Yeah.
He
No.
didn't care either way.
Yeah. Absolutely. Wow. Quite the journey. So
Yeah,
now you are, I mean, turn. You've been like that forever about being so positive. What would you tell
absolutely.
now? So near the end here, what would you say to somebody that's um, you know, what can you end on? What'd be a great way to end here? I mean, because I probably know what you're going to say, which is wonderful.
You
To
said,
every,
could you
what
say
would,
that again? I didn't quite hear you.
yeah, no, I know. I kind of go off. What? How would you end here with that we haven't said, or the positivity that you can throw out to everybody that's going through? Because there's people here that I'm sure that are, having those tough days, even
Yeah.
now after many years.
Well, yeah, if I can say one thing to inspire anybody, it's basically, the same words, stay positive, never give in and just overcome every objection, and always look for the positives in every aspect. Don't ever look for the negatives or dwell on them. Just look for the positives, and that's how I determine a lot of things in my life if I should do it or not. Is there positives in it? Is there negatives in it? Do the positives outweigh the negatives? Do the negatives outweigh the positives?
Right.
You know, and I want to inspire people. I want to help people. So, I tell people all the time if they want to message me on Facebook, if they need a pep talk, if you need a handshake, you need some words of wisdom or a kick in the butt.
Yeah.
Sometimes people just need a kick in the butt and say, get over it, man.
Yeah.
What are you doing? You're dwelling on negativity. Let's get past it. And I tell people all the time, if you need help, reach out to me. If you want somebody to talk to, you want someone to play a video game with, reach out to me. I don't mind helping. I don't mind talking for a little while. If I'm busy, I just won't get to you right then. I'll message you later, you know. But I'm a very social person, and I want to, help and inspire. Um, and that, probably grew tenfold after I met Ken Jones from
Yeah.
Warfighter Engaged because he just inspired me because he's such a great person to an absolute stranger. So
That,
I want to go above and beyond, I want to do that for someone else. I'm hoping one day that I can inspire somebody, like he inspired me or help, somebody or save their life if they're thinking about doing something they shouldn't do. I don't want to use the exact word, but I'm sure you get the gist of what I'm saying. I don't want nobody to ever, hurt themselves or give in to, any type of negativity. So sometimes we all just need a pat on the back or a handshake, talk to somebody,
yeah. A hug or
whatever it takes to do something good in life.
absolutely. And this is, I don't know why I put it up here, but on the banner it says Rick Cleveland. So um, if you do, feel free to reach out to Rick, but make sure you know that he was on this show. That so there's 'cause there's scammers out there. Everybody knows that. So, um, but man, Rick, great story. It's just
Thank
amazing
you.
what you've been through and how you, I don't say turn your life around because you've always been a positive person, but it's even more positive
Yeah.
now, I guess, maybe.
Yeah, and there's just so much to my story. I mean, none of us have enough time to really sit here and for me to tell every little aspect of the story. So, I plan on doing more videos on my YouTube channel.
Yeah.
A lot of things are, I left out because I'm trying to, kind of fit it into a video. Yep, that's my channel right there, Ridiculous. And you can even see the Warfighter Engaged logo in the very bottom
Yes.
in the middle. That's the Warfighter Engaged logo. I put that on there too because I want to spread the word about them guys too because
Yeah.
you know they're such a great organization. Um, the founder and his daughter, and then some of the other guys that have worked there as volunteers and stuff, I've befriended over the years, and they're all just absolutely amazing people. And if I ever message them, they always message me right back, no matter what.
Right. Right.
And they help. They help everybody. They want to help veterans, but they've also helped me. I'm a civilian, and they continue to do good and to try to help people. And that's basically what I want to do now. And that's why I kind of started my channel. I want to tell my story. I want to do fun videos. So a lot of my content might not be related to me getting shot. Sometimes we just do little fun videos. We'll try a crazy product like I ate crickets one day.
It's good for you, I heard. I saw
I
them.
ate, yeah, I ate crickets one day, and you know what? Y'all can keep your eye out for one we're gonna do that my wife is not looking forward to, and that's snake jerky. I bought some snake jerky,
Wow.
and we're gonna try some snake for the first. I've never eaten snake or snake jerky, so we're gonna do that sometime soon. Maybe today. Maybe
Wow.
today.
Since I'm subscribed, I'll get the notifications, and I'll keep an eye out. So if you guys or
Yeah.
whoever's here, subscribe to Rick's channel. It's on YouTube. Um, It's
Yeah, I'm
awesome.
trying to grow it. If everybody could subscribe, I'd appreciate it. I
There
say it
is.
all the time.
Yeah.
Even if you don't watch all the time, just subscribe. I tell people all the time, I was like, even if you're busy, just set the phone down, let it play. If you have to,
Yeah.
go back and watch it some other time when you have more time.
Absolutely.
I'm
Absolutely.
just, I'm such a positive person and I'm just kind of going full speed on it. That's why you
Love
see it's picking up more and more traction.
it. So,
Because
yeah.
the first little while I did the channel, I didn't really post every day like I should, and I didn't really go full force. But now I am because I really want to spread my story, and I want to grow the channel. Hopefully, turn it into something. And I want to be able to tell the story about Warfighter Engaged as well
Yeah.
because
Absolutely.
I love that organization so much.
Yeah.
So I kind of am trying to do multiple things at one time on there and just basically have the exact same premise at the end of every video. I say, stay positive, stay
Yeah.
safe,
ab-
because I absolutely love positivity. And, if anybody can inspire me, because I'm pretty inspirational myself, I try my hardest to
Yeah.
inspire. But if someone can inspire me, I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. I'm like, please inspire me,
Yeah.
you know?
We can all use it. And thank you, Obs. And
Thank
we'll
you. I seen that pop up on the screen. I appreciate you.
yeah, absolutely. She's got a YouTube channel too, Simply Obs. That's there. Um,
Oh, cool.
yeah, so she's awesome. Absolutely. So
Yeah, and I love following other people's channels
yeah,
too. Especially if they motivate me or they entertain me, either
yeah,
one. I don't have to be motivated every time. Sometimes just entertain me or you know
yeah,
just I like being social,
yeah.
really. I love it. I
I,
love talking to people. I love inspiring. And
absolutely.
every day is just like a book. It's what
Yeah,
I've always said. It's like a book. Every day is like a new page. I'm like, what am I going to do today? Who am I going to talk to?
yeah,
Sometimes I just talk to the most random people.
yeah,
um, I had somebody message me the other day and they're like, you have the most amazing beard I've ever seen. And I bust out laughing.
yeah, yeah,
I'm like, thank you, stranger, for
yeah,
commenting on my beard.
yeah.
And
That's
my
awesome.
dad and my wife, say stuff about my beard all the time too. And, I never thought it was that cool, but okay, thank you all. I appreciate the compliments.
That's awesome.
It's just those random things,
Yeah, that's good. I love that.
It's
That's
like, yeah, it's like every day's, you're going to flip a page. What are we going to write in this chapter?
absolutely, absolutely. Well,
So
uh,
yeah, I mean, feel free if you have anybody has any questions or, it's, I know it's a lot to take in. My story is pretty crazy.
yeah, it's quite the story, quite the journey that you're going on, still going
Yeah.
on, and it, it's wonderful. I mean, you really, I mean, I can't even say you turned your life around, but you really, I mean, just going through what you've gone through, it's been
Yeah.
quite the journey. So, but
Yeah. I try to inspire my kids every day to be positive too. And, I want them to see a good role model,
yeah, absolutely.
you know, so my kids all the time will even repeat stuff I say. So that's why I try not to say too many inappropriate jokes or anything because I do have a crazy sense of humor.
Yeah,
But I find my kids copying me all the time, and they say, "Stay positive, stay positive. Remember, Dad.
yeah,
Remember, Dad." And
yeah,
I'm like, "Oh yeah, I remember.
yeah,
I remember. I say it every single day."
yeah. That's good. Well, that's a good one for them to repeat.
Yeah,
So, but well, Rick, man, thank you so much for being on the show, and I appreciate everybody making comments and subscribing to his channel and subscribe to mine too. Let's Talk Stroke. But I appreciate it so much for you being here. And
absolutely. And of course, I'm subscribed to your channel too, and I've been watching more and more of your stuff because I didn't know you had so much on there.
yeah,
So when I first saw the little page, it was just kind of like I guess a page, but not the channel.
right, right.
So that's why, yeah. And then you sent me the other one, so I was like, oh wow, there's a whole channel, cool. So I
Yeah,
started watching some of the stuff yesterday, and I saw, some of the videos, and I'm gonna watch more later today because I like, seeing other people's story as well.
yeah,
Um, And
We're all human.
sometimes one person has an issue that maybe one of us can help. So
Right.
why not stay social and talk to them?
That's exactly what I feel. That's absolutely correct. I mean, that's
Yep.
what.
And I appreciate you having me on the show. I appreciate it.
Well, absolutely. Well, we're definitely going to do this. I would love to do it again and share about all the more positive stuff that you're doing, and 'cause it's really
Absolutely.
inspiring me, and I'm sure everybody else. Because by seeing all these comments,
I hope so. That makes me happy.
yeah,
If I truly inspired somebody or made them even happy
yeah,
or helped in any way, that pumps me up.
yeah,
That
me
pumps me
too.
up and makes me want to keep going and makes me want to keep doing stuff.
Yeah. Keep doing it because it's absolutely, um, yeah, that's true. Right, Obs, right? You're right. It's great hearing other people's story. It is. Um, and in here, yep. Thank you for sharing your story, Joy. Nice to
Thank you.
meet
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah.
And I have been seeing all the comments. I didn't want to,
Good.
interrupt it a lot of times, but I've seen every person's comment and I appreciate every bit of positivity, every subscriber, all that. I appreciate it all.
Yeah. I'm glad. I'm glad. I tried to bring up as much as I could, so you could see them because how
Yeah,
positive you've changed them.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's so much, like we said, if you want to, talk more about it in the future, we can.
I love it.
I'm absolutely open to it. And, as far as I'm concerned, you're a friend now,
Absolutely.
message me anytime you want,
Yeah.
you know, I
Absolutely.
don't mind at all.
Yeah.
If someone needs some cheering up,
I'll reach
if I
out to
see
you.
it's your birthday, I might pop in and say happy birthday and put a little cake emoji. That's what I
Absolutely.
tend to do.
Exactly. Oh, okay. My friend, you say this a lot. You see the comment?
Yep, PMA, positive mental attitude. Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely. I've been saying that my entire life.
Yeah.
PMA, positive mental attitude.
There it is. Salute.
I love it.
Yeah, I love it too. Um, okay, so let's see here. So Joy, subscribe.
Thank
Good.
you, Joy.
Let's bring it all up. So yeah, this is great, dude. Um, Chris, thanks for being here, and I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Chris here too. But yeah, Rick, thank you so much, and I appreciate it. And we'll stay in touch. And you guys, thanks for being here. I appreciate it. And till next time, next Tuesday. So.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Take care, everyone. See you
Well,
again.
take care, everybody. I
Yeah,
appreciate everybody. Take care. It's nice meeting everybody. I see some people messaging me already. I'm hoping that it's them saying I loved you
yes,
on there and your positivity, which I'm sure that's what it is. And it's no problem. I love doing it.
yes, 100%. It was great. I can't wait to. You gave me so many ideas for YouTube, so I appreciate it. Cleveland,
Yeah, absolutely.
like Cleveland rocks.
Cleveland rocks. Yeah, thank you. I
Uh,
appreciate that.
all right, we'll talk to you guys again. Take care. And
All right, thank you, everybody. Have a great day. Stay
yeah,
safe.
yeah,
Stay positive. Peace.